For number 8C, we're supposed to graph using our graphing calculators the function for a of x, the area in terms of x. And before we actually graph it, let's figure out, well, what's the lowest value that x could be? Well, x could be as low as 0. So we want to go to our window and say, well, x can be as low as 0, and the x max can be as large as 2. So those would be our domain values there. And then the y min would be also 0. The y max, we don't know what the maximum area would be. So what do you think about the area of a circle? It'd be pi r squared. So if we think about the area of a circle, pi r squared, and then in this case the area or the radius is 2. So 4 pi would be the area of the whole circle. Half of that would be 2 pi. So the maximum that even a semicircle of radius 2 could be would be 2 pi. So that's 6.28 or so. And so let's just leave it at 7, x max or y max of 7, where any rectangle, certainly any rectangle inside of that semicircle would not have an area greater than the area of the semicircle. And let's change the x-res to 3 so it'll draw the graph faster. And so we see the graph of a of x. This is the graph of a of x. At anywhere along the way, if we hit trace, anywhere along the way, let's say when x is equal to 1, we see that the area of the rectangle would be 3.46 and change. If we move down here, let's say we have an x value of 0.227, we see the area of the rectangle would be 0.90. So as we increase x, and it looks like the highest point is going to be somewhere right around 1.3 or 1.4, somewhere in there, because once we get past that, it gets closer to 2 on the x, then we can see that the area goes down. So reading the graph is one thing, but then finding the actual maximum, we have to push the second key, calculate, second trace. Right above the trace button is the word calc for calculate, so second trace, and then we can hit the down arrow until we hit maximum. We're trying to find a maximum value here, and we hit enter for that. And it's asking for a left bound. We move the cursor to an obvious spot to the left of the high point and mark it with an enter. And then move the cursor to a spot that's obviously lower again than the maximum point, but to the right. And then moving the cursor back somewhere close to the maximum value there, we would see the maximum value is actually 4, and that's when the x value is equal to 1.414. So for part C, it says for what value of x is a the largest? It's for when x is equal to 1.414. 1.414. So that's our value for x for part C.